freshens the clean clean.
Got the dust boogers going on. Alright, this week we got a ton of rain, like a massive amount of rain, right? So what I'm doing is I've been power washing because I'm not going to have the ability to mow quite a few of my lawns. So I'm power washing today. I power washed a little bit earlier this week and did some bush trimming. So that's what I'm doing today, power washing and bush trimming, making up for the time. I don't just let it go to waste. I got to do something. I got to create income. I got to keep the ball rolling. And right now is a good time to get the enhancements that I've already upsold, and I need to fit them in. If you don't have that going on today, what you can do is immediately text your client or give them a call and just say, hey, we're coming through in the next couple weeks and doing this. Would you be interested? In which case, then you can do it. Now, the power washer I'm using today is just a Craftsman power washer. And, you know, it's got the 163 cc engine. I don't know, it's not that bad. It's got 4 tips. I use the yellow tip, which is 2500 psi. So that's what I use. And then I'm just going to show you a little bit on the driveway. So we've got some staining issues, and you can see that it's cleaning it up real well. Now, it's probably not the most efficient because I only have about a 2-inch fan, which you can kind of see here because I missed a spot. So it's only got about a 2-inch fan, and you know, so it's not probably not the most efficient way, but you know, it gets the job done. It allows me to take care of these kind of jobs. I normally don't offer power washing in my lawn care business. The only reason I am currently is because we fired up the painting this year, and you know, but I mean, as far as something to do, it is an easy one to add on to your business. The downside is that your feet get wet, so they'll be very soggy. So I mean, if it's raining, it allows you to do something in the rain if you wanted, as long as there's not lightning. But you know, your feet get soggy. That can get miserable if you're doing it all day. So I guess you could wear rubber shoes for that. I'm not doing that. And then the other downside would be that, you know, with this type of wand, you're looking down at the ground, so you're hunched over, your neck's down, you're looking down at the ground, and it tends to hurt your back over the day. Alright, so power washing is a very easy service to add on to your business. It is just time consuming. I've seen some cool attachments you can add on for doing driveways that are supposed to speed up efficiency. I haven't tried them, so I couldn't really tell you if they're good or not. I used to work at Sonic when I was younger, and we had to power wash the parking lots. This is how we did it. It works pretty well. A driveway like this will probably take you between an hour to 2 hours, just depending on how bad it is. When you're talking to a customer and you're kind of selling it, you need to look at their driveway a little bit and see if it's just sediment. Like, you can see everything on here, it's just dirt sediment. Sometimes you'll have some algae or something like that that's kind of growing, like almost like it looks like a moss, you know. But not an oil stain. Oil stains aren't going to actually come out of the concrete because it's absorbed into the concrete. So it's going to be more difficult to get out, in which case you're going to have to use some different cleaners, and you may never get it fully out. So you just need to be upfront with them and let them know, hey, here's what you can expect. It's going to look a lot better, but oil stains may not come out. And then, you know, when you have a driveway that's got cracks like this, an add-on service that you can do as well is you can come behind after you've done the power washing and actually fill the cracks with a masonry caulking, which is what I'm actually going to be doing on this driveway here in a few weeks. I'll make another video for that as well. But it's a pretty easy process. But while I am power washing it, knowing that I'm going to be doing that, I'm spraying a lot of this sediment out, a lot of the dirt, because that's just building up over time. But anyways, yeah. So I'll come behind with a weed eater and I'll really just get in the groove with the weed eater and knock all the dirt and the grass and everything out. Then you got a clean groove for that. Um, but yeah, the power washing's super easy to add on. It's a great upsell. All you really have is your equipment and then the hose. This is a contractor grade hose, the red hose that's attached to the power washer, and it's real thick. It doesn't kink up, and I think it was only like 16 or 20 bucks for 100 feet. I might have that wrong. It might have been 28 bucks. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the price on some things when I buy them because it's just petty stuff. After a while, when you're in business, it's good to be frugal in some areas, and then on some areas, the cost of stuff just is what it is. You're not going to get it much cheaper. Like I'm not the kind of guy that goes to Amazon to get things 50 cents cheaper. You're jumping over dollars for dimes at that point. I don't drive across town to go get gas because it's 25 cents cheaper or whatever it might be. You know, stuff like that is just it's it's really petty. Um, and it's not going to make you money. You're going to I don't have a bunch of time. You know, if I fill that with services and I stay busy, my time is dedicated towards those services, and I really have to spend a little extra money in certain areas. So, yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on that stuff. Uh, when I'm doing this, you'll notice that the areas I've already done, um, I'm getting some of the sediment back onto the concrete I've already sprayed off. So I'll do a section, and then after I'm done with those sections, I'll use the power washer just to rinse everything off. Just push it all away because what's actually in this concrete is just dirt. You know, rain brings dirt in. The driveway might get washed over. It comes in from the tires on the cars, whatever it might be. It just gets in the concrete and it settles. So that's really all you're doing is washing the dirt out. Well, as you do, it kicks it up on the driveway, so you got to push it down. So I start at the top of the driveway, and I want to go towards the end of the driveway and push it all towards the apron so it goes down the gutter. And when I got done with this driveway, that gutter was full, like probably 2 inches with sediment. And I had to move my truck because it was blocking off the gutter, and then actually run the hose to get it to run down the street so that it's not just going into the neighbor's yard. You got to be considerate as well when you're doing things. Just like you are when you're mowing a lawn, you make sure you're not blowing a bunch of clippings on the neighbor. You don't want to wash a driveway and then have all that just sitting in front of the neighbor's house and it's 2 inches thick. You know, that's not cool. Right here you can see the color transition between the algae and the actual dirt sediment I've been blasting off. So that darker green is going to take a little bit more attention to get it taken off. I think I switched from lower pressure tip to 2500 psi, which is the yellow tip. The yellow tip does everything, it just doesn't have as wide of a fan. So, you know, that's something to take in consideration. And then right here you can see I'm just blasting out the rest of the sediment that after I washed other areas, it blew back onto where I was at. I don't want that to sit and then dry because it's going to absorb right back into the concrete. It's going to leave you with a dirty finish again. So it's not going to look as clean if you don't take that little bit of extra time just to blast it off. And then you can see how I've been working down the driveway and it's all going towards the street. You don't want to start at the bottom and then work your way up towards the house. You'll be blasting it on the garage door when you're done. You want to work your way towards the street, get it to go down to the gutter, and then you're going to run a hose out there and just get it to wash out, just like it would when it rains. Other people might have a different method. This is just a method I use. I'm not saying it's the way to do it, but it's how I do it. Alright, so here's the after shot. Much better. The reason that she wanted it is they had a hot tub here and it's still kind of wet, so but you can tell it's not black anymore. Trimmed up the bushes and there's some debris in the yard, but I'm gonna mow probably tomorrow, and because I'm mowing I'm gonna go ahead and leave that debris. I'm going to go ahead and show you the front in a second, but before I do that, I got to carry some more stuff up there. Alright, so in the front, this is the property line. I got the whole curb line, the driveway, and all the way concrete up by the house. Now I got to clean all the cracks up, so I'll weed eat that stuff up when I'm here tomorrow. Then I'll clean that up. And there's same thing, little bush trimming stuff in the yard. No biggie. I'm gonna come tomorrow, mow over it, it'll look good. Even though it's too wet to mow, there's still stuff to do. And I mean, if I was push mowing, I could take care of this probably. I think my 36 could get on it, but there's just a lot of soft spots, and it's that time of year where you're like, man, I went through that enough this year. I can wait a few days. So, most of my clients are pretty cool. I've got a pretty good group of clientele. What do you think, Rachel?
What?
I got pretty good clients.
That you have good clients? Yes.
Yeah. Took a while.
I was gonna say, yes, it did take a while, and it also has a lot to do with how you train them.
Yeah.
That's I think that's been the biggest key factor.
She's saying weed out the assholes.
Well, we set our standards. You set our standards.
Yeah. Probably not what I said the first time, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get into this, and we can probably have a pretty good conversation about this together in another video.